It's always great talking to my next guest. Tom O'Connor is going to be back in action, Unified 47, December 2nd on UFC Fight Pass. He's going to be taking on Devon Brock. Tom, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks. How are you?
Doing awesome. How is training going? We see you live on location at the gym right now.
Yeah, well, no, this is a basement gym, so it's a tiny little space. It's about just what's behind me, but it's good. It's good for all the burpees and shadow boxing necessary, you know. But training's going good, yeah. And always just at PFA and going up to Dynamic a bit as well, and just always all of the martial artists in Southern Alberta, getting as many reps in everyone that I can. So yeah, training's been going awesome.
Good to hear, man. Let's get this out of the way, because obviously I know you were supposed to fight Tim Smith in your last fight. I know there was a medical issue. From your vantage point and people who might not know, what exactly happened there? Because the fight obviously got canceled.
Yeah, it was just weight cutting issue and just lots to learn from how to wake up properly. It's obviously a big part of the job and the process that we all go through as fighters, and learning to do that the best way possible. So it was a big cut, but then too, just the week of, I was super sick, and I think I didn't manage everything on my end as well as I should have and could have, and just like water loading, for example, like that was a big part, is the right water loading. I had such a fever, and then in the tub, I had a big enough cut that I was doing a lot, and so I did the night of we cut, and then by that time I was just already too hot, and so we're like, okay, we'll do another section in the morning, and cut in the morning, and then passed out in the tub, and so got through that and learned a lot of lessons from it, and kind of go to some professionals and learn how to wake up properly and keep learning.
What are you doing differently this time around? Obviously, because I'm sure you don't want that to happen again. I know part of it was you were sick, but is there anything different that you're doing that you can share with us?
Yeah, just a big part of it, just reaching out to some professional help and just learning more about nutrition and the nutrition side. So I mean, the right things on the right times. You know, I've always eaten healthy, of course, and I always have, but just learning the fine tuning in the weeks before. So I'm working with Coach TJ Wynn. He's been awesome, and just for the wake up portion, learning how to manipulate the heat and temperature and do all of that in the weeks before a lot better. And just all full around, like the game is always learning. That's what we're doing as martial artists and as athletes. It's just, how do we make our performance 1% better, and feeling good, and our health is such a big part of that. And sometimes the balance of how much we willing to compromise health versus not, and we're always kind of trying to push the limits as athletes. And sometimes I don't know. I for sure, I know me. I can only speak for myself. Is like, I sometimes don't take all the advice. I just being receptive and learning, and I don't know everything, but constant process of learning so that I can do things a bit better. And that's been the big learning side of it.
And just last thing, was there any talks about rebooking that fight? Obviously, Tim has another opponent now. You have another opponent. Was there any talks of trying to redo that one?
Not through me a lot. I think it kind of was left up to Unified and Tim and what the best opportunities for them were. I mean, that is a super exciting fight. I think the two of us is just a fun fight for fans, fun fight to have, and presents a cool style. So I'm never against a fun fight, but the business side and everything, it has to match up for all parties involved, right? So didn't discuss it in any type of official manner, but I think that they just moved on from it and the way it happened, and just when a weight cut goes wrong like that, the dominoes fall, the cards fall where they may, and I think a big opportunity for him with the Matt Krakow fight and getting that one back and how everything's going there. So I think it was just opportunity presents itself the way it does, and adapt as you go. And I mean, for me too, like the fight that came out of it with Devon Brock, this is a super exciting fight too. He's a tough challenge, strong, athletic guy, good wrestling defensively. Like I think he's going to present a lot of good problems on my offensive wrestling side. And then he has good, sharp hands, heavy hands. So yeah, it's just like he presents a lot of good challenges, which that's why we do it. I want to test myself as a martial artist, and so as long as I'm leveling up, my opponents are leveling up, and I'm getting harder and harder challenges, that's why I'm here.
Well, I was going to say one of the great things about Unified and Rob Vevers and the matchmaking is this is a really awesome fight. Like just in general, forget about Unified, forget about anything else. Like if you look at the two of you, you're 10-2, he's 10-5. Just in some ways, and nothing against Tim, I'm glad to see him get another fight booked. But this almost seems like a better fight for you in terms of the resume, fighting a guy who's 10-5. So just tell me how excited you were to get Devon as an opponent.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Good opponents, similar, like you said, 10-5, good record, fought tough guys. And so, yeah, I think just career trajectory wise, and both fights are super exciting from a fan perspective. As a martial artist, both have a lot of appeal, but definitely this one just a good stamp, a good finish. If I finish Devin Brock like I plan to, then that is a bit more of a statement maybe. And see it. So a little bit more stock in it, I guess.
Training camp, you talked a bit about it there, doing a bit of cross training. Who have been some of the main training partners this camp helping you get ready for the fight?
So, as always, everyone at PFA is always helping me out a lot. Lots of guys from CMC as well. I haven't been able to work with Tim because he was injured in his last fight, but Spencer Ovi, Jordan Mean, all of the extra guys coming out there. Me and Majed are getting as many rounds as we can. He's fighting right after me, so co-main and main event back to back, and so we're getting as many rounds as we can in. And then in Dynamic, I'm working with Craig Corbett as well, and the guys at Dynamic, they're all awesome, so just getting rounds in there. And yeah, my big coaches, Brad Wall and Trevor Hardy, we're constantly going to the drawing board. My jiu-jitsu and grappling coaches, Scott Ward and Andrew, they're always, same thing, keep diving into the film work and seeing where are we going to have our best advantages. And so lots of talk and discussion with them, putting that into the rounds with the guys at PFA and any other anyone in Southern Alberta that I can link up with to train with, right? That's the name, is make the best room possible. So those have been the names that I've been mostly training with, yeah.
So time of recording this is November 24th. We're Canadian, so we don't have to worry about Thanksgiving and all that because we had that back in October. But how's the weight right now? Because obviously we're just a few weeks away. Everything going A-okay?
Yeah, I had right on point. So lighter than I started out before. And with the better process and learning a better process, but also the step-by-step instructions from my nutrition coach, TJ. And so, I feel way more confident about the weight for sure. And that's a nice thing because, just going into it, that can be a big stress and take away energy that you could be putting into training. But I haven't had to feel that for at least the past 4 weeks. I felt really on point. So that's been a big relief.
Good stuff. In your corner, who will be in the cage with you that night?
Brad Wall, Connor Derry, and Scott Ward. Yeah.
And I know you feel like you're going to win, otherwise why sign the contract? But how do you see the fight playing out on December 2nd?
Yeah, I think it's going to be fireworks right from the start because I'm going to come out really offensive and push the pace right off the bat. And you see if he can defend my takedowns, defend my strikes, and just a barrage of offense off the bat. So I'm going to try and finish him in the first. But I don't predict any particular submission or strikes or TKO. I'm looking to mix everything up and give a variety of offense and attacks. So yeah, I'm going for a first round finish.
And the timing of this is interesting, right? December, end of the year. We're hearing some rumblings about the UFC coming back to Alberta next year. Did you see this kind of the stars aligning here? If you go out there and get this win, that maybe this might be your last fight for Unified, and we might be talking about a UFC fight next.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's the best opportunities? And I love fighting for Unified and local MMA right now. And it's Canada's stomping grounds, proving grounds. It is really Canada's biggest MMA show in my opinion right now. So I'm happy to fight. The opportunities I'm getting with them are great. The fights I'm getting with them are great. But of course, we're here to level up and whatever opportunity presents itself, that's the best for me. That's the way I'm going to go. And yeah, I want to fight tough guys. So where's the toughest guys?
Yeah, and you're hearing the same thing I am. I mean, I'm hearing Vancouver and Alberta as two potential destinations for the UFC next year. That's the rumblings.
Both of them, right? I think potentially both.
Which aren't too far, right? Vancouver's not that far flight-wise for you to go somewhere and do all that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Before we get out of here, always got to talk some hockey. Your Detroit Red Wings playing very well. My Vancouver Canucks not playing so well, although they did win last night. But still, I'm not getting my hopes
even their losses, I feel like Vancouver's losses too have not been.
They always give up the lead, man. It's so frustrating. Right? I think they've given up 7 multi-goal leads this season, which is crazy. We're not
really
even
good offensive pieces like Pedersen and Horvat are they're lighting it up right now for the league.
Yeah. No, Horvat's like a goal a game, which is great. Who's been
Yeah,
sticking out for you?
seriously.
Yeah, I'm sure you watch a lot of the games. Who's impressed you the most this season for the Red
For
Wings?
some reason, like some of the Detroit games, I don't know, just the TV, whatever I have, I don't get as many of them, so I don't get to watch as many. But I'm constantly following them, and not yet. So Raymond, the last couple of years, he started out the season, was kind of cold, but he's heating up. And Larkin, it's cool seeing him become the leadership role, and how Yzerman is, having a lot of people work behind him. And then those young guys like Kubalik, just getting them, not young, but getting the trade from getting Kubalik, and who else do we get? Kopp. And there's one more big player, vet, Perron. Like Perron has been putting up same thing at the start of the season, was almost a point per game as well. And so it's just, I'm just loving seeing Steve Yzerman create another great team. And it's cool to see that the stat earlier with that biggest line. Did you see that? The three biggest, like what is it, Soderblom, Rasmussen, and someone else, one of the other ones, young kids. That was like average of 230, 6'6" or something. Just massive line.
Just juggernauts,
just huge, just nuts.
Yeah.
So I just been fun to watch. It feels like the league this year though has kind of evened out. I felt this.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was just listening. I just noticed last night, like the Oilers are 500 right now. Like it's crazy to see, like a lot of the teams, like there's a few teams like New Jersey, and although they lost too last night, that's a whole other story. But
their streak was ruined.
Yeah, their streak was ruined. There's a few teams like Vegas and them that are doing quite well, but you're right. It's kind of leveled out. Like you look at a lot of the records, they're not that impressive, right? Like an Oilers should not be 10-10. It's crazy.
They're all close to 500. There's like the 2 or 3 elite teams that are really leading, and then 2 or 3 at the bottom. But even that, no one's that far out of it or leading. It's kind of across the board, pretty equal. And even just looking, sometimes you're looking at like betting props, things like that. You're like, why is that? This team matches up with that team. How? How is it set this way? But obviously Vegas knows. And it's interesting too in New Jersey. Like some of those offensive pieces they have are just so exciting to watch. For some reason I get all the New Jersey games, but not the Detroit games.
I got to work on that. Hey, Tom, thanks so much for doing this. We're looking forward to the fight, December 2nd, Unified 47. I know you got some sponsors. I know you got some social media to plug. So I'm going to give you that opportunity here before we get out of here to plug all that stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, Tom Big Nasty on all social media platforms. And then as for sponsors, like Frontline Towing, always helping me out. There's a new app, Clever app with the Verseeks they started, and some of their partners. But it's a really cool app it's like editing. It's a social media platform, but specifically for editing and taking videos and doing your own videos for sports and around sports. And so it started out with hockey, but it's everywhere, and it's awesome. I even use it it's awesome for MMA. I'll take a clip of me training, I can send it to Brad, Trevor, all of my coaches, and they can really easily voice over, draw on it, send it back. It's really easy for that. And awesome for your kids' hockey games and things like that. So really fun app to download and really helpful too. Clever, they've been awesome. And then Hard Training, Progressive Fighting Academy, as always helping me out.